Florian Wirtz became the youngest player to debut for Bayer Leverkusen in May 2020. He was 17 years and 15 days old. 6 months later, he scored against Bayern Munich. At 17 years and 34 days, he became the youngest goal scorer in Bundesliga history. In December 2021, he became the youngest player to reach 50 Bundesliga appearances. He was 18 years, 7 months, and 12 days old. He had 7 goals and 10 assists in 23 Bundesliga matches in the 2021-22 season. Germany's national coach Hansi Flick had already called him one of the greatest talents German football had ever produced. Real Madrid wanted him. Manchester United wanted him. Arsenal wanted him. Bayern Munich wanted him. He was 18 years old, and he was already the most coveted young footballer in Europe. Then came March 13th, 2022, and the one man whose name Florian Wirtz could not forget. Not with the obvious anger of someone who lost a match, with something colder, something that settled in the left knee of an 18-year-old and did not leave for 272 days. Luca Killian, March 13th, 2022. Leverkusen versus FC Köln, the Rhineland derby. For Wirtz, this was personal before a ball was kicked. Köln was the club where he had spent 10 years of his youth career, from 2010 to 2020, before Bayer Leverkusen came in and signed him at 17. The move itself had been controversial. Köln felt that Leverkusen had violated a gentleman's agreement between the two clubs. The wound between the clubs ran deep. Leverkusen were positioned third in the Bundesliga. 8 matches remaining. A season of genuine promise, built on the back of Wirtz's extraordinary form. 28th minute. Wirtz drove forward outside the Köln penalty area, the ball at his feet, his balance perfect. The way it always was. The way that had made every major club in Europe reach for their phones. Luca Killian challenged him. Wirtz planted his left leg. His knee drove inward. His foot rotated outward. He went down immediately. Medical staff rushed onto the pitch. He was stretchered off and replaced in the 28th minute by Amine Adli. The MRI scan confirmed it within hours. Torn anterior cruciate ligament. Left knee. Leverkusen issued a statement the same afternoon. Florian Wirtz would be without for several months. Hansi Flick called him personally. He is still young, and he will come back strong, I'm sure of it, Flick told reporters. Wirtz posted on social media from his hospital bed. Thank you for all the recovery wishes, messages, and calls. It is good to know and gives me strength that so many people are thinking of me. He was 18 years old. It was the worst injury of his life. And the season, the best individual season any 18-year-old had produced in the Bundesliga in years, was over in the 28th minute of a derby against his former club. The months that followed were not glamorous. 272 days of rehabilitation, 43 matches missed, a World Cup in Qatar, the first major tournament of what was supposed to be a long career, representing Germany, watched from home. The other players trained. Jamal Musiala, his Germany teammate, went to Qatar and played. Germany went out at the group stage, embarrassingly, but Musiala was there. He was part of it. Wirtz watched it on television. Xabi Alonso had just arrived as Leverkusen's new head coach. He was in constant contact with Wirtz throughout the rehabilitation. With Flo, we're a better team, and I'm also a better coach, Alonso said when Wirtz finally returned. He called him a fantastic new signing. Wirtz made his comeback on January 22nd, 2023, in a 3-2 win over Borussia Mönchengladbach. After the match, he was honest about what it had cost him. I'm exhausted, he said. I'm not used to the pace after being out for 9 months. It was a disappointing game from us, but I think that will change later in the day, once the penny drops how important this day was for me. The penny dropped, then it kept dropping for 2 more years. What Florian Wirtz did after coming back is the part of this story that the injury statistics do not fully capture. In the 2023-24 season, he was the best player in Bayer Leverkusen's historic unbeaten Bundesliga campaign, the first undefeated title in the league's history. Wirtz was at the center of everything: the passes, the goals, the assists, the moments in tight games where Leverkusen needed someone to find a solution, and always found him already looking for one. He won the Bundesliga. He won the DFB Pokal. He finished as one of the most creative attacking midfielders in European football. In 2024-25, he excelled again. Liverpool paid $116 million, a British transfer record, to sign him in June 2025. Manchester City had wanted him. Bayern Munich had wanted him. He chose Liverpool. Former Germany international Didi Hamann, never a man given to flattery, said plainly, "For me, Wirtz is in a different league compared to Musiala at the moment. Wirtz makes every player in his team better. Germany's coach named him as a starter. The comparisons to the greatest players Germany had ever produced became standard. The career that had been paused on a pitch in the 28th minute of a Bundesliga derby in 2022 had not just resumed. It had accelerated into something larger than anything that existed before the knee went. But here is what the comeback statistics also do not capture. Luca Killian was not malicious. The challenge was not a foul in the way that word carries intent. It was a duel. Football is full of them. Wirtz planted his leg in a way that put his knee at risk. Killian was there, and the result was 272 days of rehabilitation for an 18-year-old who had been the best young player in Germany. No red card, no suspension, no punishment of any kind. Killian went on playing, went on with his career. His life was not altered by what happened in the 28th minute. Wirtz's was. A World Cup missed, a season ended, 10 months of daily rehabilitation, of physiotherapy and ice and resistance bands, and the slow grinding work of teaching a knee to trust itself again, while the career that was supposed to be happening was happening for everyone else. What you carry out of 10 months alone with an injury is not the same as what you carry out of a loss in the final minutes. A loss resolves. The match ends. The season ends. There is a next match, a next season, a next chance. An ACL at 18 does not resolve cleanly. It settles into the background of every training session, every sprint, every moment a defender gets close, and you plant your leg, and your body remembers, involuntarily, beneath the level of thought, what happened the last time. Wirtz has never spoken publicly about Luca Killian in the terms this story uses. He has not needed to. What he has done instead is return at 20 and 21 and 22 and play at a level that made everything that was taken from him in the 28th minute of March 13th, 2022 look like something the sport tried to use against him and failed. The record books say Florian Wirtz tore his ACL in a Bundesliga derby on March 13, 2022. They say he missed 272 days. They say he returned and won the Bundesliga unbeaten. They say Liverpool paid $116 million for him 4 years later. What the record books do not say is what an 18-year-old carries when the world's best career is interrupted not by a rival who outplayed him, not by a result that went against him, not by a decision that could have gone differently, but by a knee that twisted in the 28th minute of a derby against the club where he grew up. Luca Killian has played hundreds of matches since that afternoon. Florian Wirtz has spent every one of them proving that the 28th minute was not the sentence it looked like when he was stretchered off the pitch at 18. He has not forgotten the man involved. He has just made sure the answer came on pitches that mattered more than that one. Cold, permanent, unresolved, the way the deepest hatreds always are. If you want more deep dives into the untold psychology behind football's greatest rivalries, subscribe. The best stories are still coming.